welcome back to Tansson Talks. I always appreciate your support. I'm Brandon, the host of the show, and I always love doing this. And yes, I'm very excited to speak with my guest here today on episode 99. Harry, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for this interview. I'm so grateful.
Yes, and I'm so glad, like I said, to have you on. And so, like I said, how's your day going thus far, Harry?
Well, so far my day is doing great. I've been doing some activities the days before, but now I think I'm able to talk and also to interact more, to share more about my experience during all these weeks.
Like I said, I'm just so excited to speak. Like I said, and as I was mentioning before, this is episode 99 of the show, and so I'm so glad, like I said, to have you on for the special episode.
Wow, 99. We are very close to 100. Wow, I'm so
Yeah,
great.
very close. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that, like I said, we're already here, and I think at a great time as we're ending out 2024.
Well, yeah, that's so cool. I hope to answer all and also have more fun because I think an interview should be that also to share more experiences and also to have and enjoy everything.
Oh, 100%. And before we get started, are you able to introduce yourself for those tuning in?
Of course. Well, my name is Harry Alarcón. I'm a bachelor in communications from the Universidad of San Martín de Porres, which is located in Peru. Of course, I'm Peruvian and I'm so glad of my country. I've been ranked in the top third of my class. I have experience in communication planning, web writing, event organization, also virtual and in person. I also know about graphic design, also social media management, and my experience also includes producing press releases, creating corporate content, and also coordinating institutional campaigns that also strengthen brand visibility and reputation. And I've been working so much. I'm also, I'm the president of my chapter of PRSSA USMP, and I'm so glad to share more.
Well, I know you certainly have, like I said, a lot going for you, and so massive congratulations all around.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and like I said, since you just graduated, yeah, congratulations. How was that for you?
It was a hard month because I've been traveling a lot. I also traveled to Cusco, which is a well-known place in Peru. I know that you might probably heard about Machu Picchu. Well, Machu Picchu is located in Cusco. I traveled to Cusco. I visited some cultural places, very beautiful. But I also traveled to the PRSSA International Conference 2024. Everything was on October, and I finished my classes in November, so it was pretty close. We had to do so many activities with my team. Fortunately, everything went well, and finally, I could say that I graduated. So yeah,
That's amazing. Definitely a very busy semester for you.
it was a very busy semester because also the president of my chapter. I also been part of some activities in my university. I had too many activities to finish, and now I feel a little bit more free. I have more spare time to also share and do more activities, but in that time I was busy a lot.
I would imagine, and yeah, and I definitely a little later am excited to I want to hear about your plans after graduation. But yeah, so in the first acts though, so I know that of course being in public relations that you was it that you just graduated from. Yeah, I know that that is a lot. But have you always been interested in public relations?
Well, could you imagine that I didn't know a little bit too much about communication when I enrolled to my career? I know that I'm a person who always loves to talk. I'm very talkative. I'm always like a mouth that can never be stop talking. And my sister told me to enroll into this career because I could learn more. And the first time when I heard about that my university had public relations career, I fell in love completely. So since the first semester, since I was a junior, since I was a student, since I started, I really knew that I wanted to be a PR. And after 5 years of studying, I finally can say that I'm a PR. I've been also Uh, yeah, I've been also studying public relations and publicity, so I have both specialties, and I think that I'm I'm ready for the world of today.
I love that. I'm so glad that you are ready for to take on the world, and I'm just, as I said, so excited for you. And so I guess walking us through the very beginning of your journey when you first enrolled, since you didn't at first know about public relations and communication. So, would you originally enroll for?
Well, yeah, because in my university, I think it depends about other careers, but that my career that I follow is completely different. When you enroll to my university, you study everything. You study from press, also social media. You study some courses about public relations, corporate communications, and also about publicity. But after your 4 years, the last semester you have to choose your specialty, and I chose public relations and publicity. So yeah, for sure.
But that's amazing. Like I said, and I'm so glad that you're able to have, like I said, dual specialities, and so that's very cool. And so, and so overall, how was your college journey from start to finish for you?
It was really hard. I've been through too many challenges through all my career. Imagine that I enrolled in 2020. I start I was able to attend to my university, but unfortunately the pandemic happened, and I know that is something very difficult to confront, and also it was difficult for everyone because we had to study not in the university but also from our homes, and being able to all study 3 years virtually, it was completely difficult. I had to always think and make my own routine. I had my routine every day, and I had especially a schedule for all my activities. So I. I've always been suffering, but not in a bad way. I think it's a good way because I have the opportunity to learn more. And finally, when I went in person to university, I had the opportunity to meet all my classmates that I always seen them in virtual classes. So it was a very beautiful experience. I think I could have a good group of friends that we started from the beginning and we finish our career to date. And even though everybody says that it's very difficult to get a group through all those years of your career, I can say that for me it's a completely different experience because I have good partners and good classmates that make everything more easier and also make me feel like a real home.
Well, I love that, and I'm so glad that you were able to find classmates that were able to make that home environment for you. And so, to speak about, of course, 2020 before I dive into your in-person study. So, how was it adjusting to, doing college online at first and having to set your own routine?
Well, it was a little bit difficult in the beginning. I have to say that I earned a lot of weight because I used to be the person that just attend to the class, and after that I was just inside of my home trying to think to do maybe some activities. Well, it was really difficult because I'm not a very active person who loves to do sports. I was the other opposite person that used to stay at home, stay in my bed, lay in my bed the whole day, and also sleep, do my homeworks, and not have much activities. So at the end of the day, it hurts me so much because I earned weight. I didn't have a good life and also good activities. So after that, I said to my mind, and I said, no, I need to do a change. So I start doing exercise at home. I start trying to make more things, eating healthy, because I couldn't go out, so it was more difficult in that time because we couldn't go out and we had to stay at homes for the whole year, and it was difficult also more in Peru because in Peru we didn't have access to sanitary health, and also many hospitals collapsed, so it was more difficult for us to stay out because we were afraid of get the COVID, and also to or have to be or to attend to a hospital, and there were long lines. Everything was collapsed, everything was a completely chaos. Education also was completely difficult because many teachers, they were afraid of how to teach also in virtual. They were teachers that were older ones. The older ones were afraid of new technology, they didn't know how to use them, and the youngers were able to teach, but it feels completely different to person to in person, that also to learn from virtual, and it changed a lot. I think I had the opportunity to study twice because virtual was a completely different thing about in person.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to get that start twice in a sense, that you're able to get a fresh start, yeah, in person. But I'm glad that you took the initiative to, yeah, to change your reality for the time that you were online.
Yeah, well, for example, I have the experience of conducting classes in person, but obviously being virtual is completely different. I also think that is very difficult to teach someone that now is enrolled to a university what it feels to be part of virtual classes, because also there were students who left classes, they quit, and they start studying since 2022 or 2023, so they prefer in-person classes. And I have to tell them, well, I studied for almost 3 years of my career in at home. It well, it helped me in a good way because I had more time. I live far away from my university, so it takes me like 3 or 4 hours to go to my university. I don't live there. I have to go every day from. Well, we had different schedule. We have two blocks. The first block was in the morning, and the other block was in the afternoon. So imagine wake up at 4 p.m. to to do a long trip to my university and attend at 7, because if you were late, they won't let you be in at class. So yeah, it was a little bit difficult. And also the one of the main benefits was that I had the opportunity to study at home and also just turn on my computer and attend class.
Wow, I mean, first of all, that's very impressive that you were able to take, yeah, the 3 hour, yeah, journey, yeah, back and forth. I mean, did that ever get a lot for you?
Yeah, it was completely different. And when I went to the US and I had the opportunity to talk with other students, they told me that they live in the universities and they have like a big campus with beds, and also they study. And I was shocked because it's completely difficult to find this in Peru. Well, to find that in Peru, because in Peru, we are used to just attend classes, but we are not living there. There are not rooms. Maybe there are some universities that has that opportunity, but are for students that live abroad. I mean, in other parts of Peru, not in the capital or the center where I live, which is the downtown, Lima downtown. And I think that if I did a long journey, I also have to do some of that journeys because my university is far away. And well, for me, there are some students that have very they are more closer to the university.
But nevertheless, I mean, I think that also comes to show, yeah, a bit about like your dedication towards everything, and that you want to learn, that you want to keep going. Because I know not, at least in the U.S. I know not everyone would manage to do that, but the fact that you were able to do that and still manage to work on yourself as well is so impressive.
Yeah, I imagine that it's completely different being a student from Peru that in other part also from the North America or South America because well in Peru education is even though it's expensive also it's more hard and you have to put all your effort you have to put all your passion if you really want to be a good professional because there is a lack of opportunities in my country. It's very hard to find a job. It's very hard to find some opportunities on open doors. We don't have the same access that maybe other students might have, and it depends about the university. There are some, I don't know how to say, it's like a discrimination about universities, and even the university that you come from is the level that most of companies charge you, and maybe there are some companies that only accept students from higher universities where they which are more expensive ones than the other affordable ones. And even if you come from a university that is cheaper than other university, there's also discrimination, and it's really hard to say that because also imagine now moving abroad, also being part of other countries where university really doesn't is not known, so it's more difficult also to get to a job. So I think that if you want to start in Peru, you have to be very brave and also to to have the opportunity to really love your career because it's as I said before, it's really hard to wake up earlier to have the strength to enroll into a career and also to follow the 5 years because there are so many students in Peru that quit all their careers before the year or 2 years of study. So yeah, it's so hard to say, but there are some junior students that after one semester they quit their career, and it's so hard to say that.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's really insightful, for me to hear that and how, yeah, and even like the different levels of education, how different employers may not uh, treat them all equally, which is one, of course, yeah, disappointing, but also too that it kind of shows a little bit more, like it gives more power to the fact that you're still able to endure that, and that and understanding like this is the path in front of me, and this is something I want to do, and putting in the work to make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Imagine that I always tell all the members of my chapter that follow their dreams, that finish their careers, that PRSSA is like an open door of opportunities, and all the all the tools, all the things that can make you be a better professional are there. The only thing that you have to do is to put all your effort. If you don't have the effort, if you don't get the stamina, if you don't get the power to follow your dreams and also to finish your career, even though you try, I think you can't. And also, as I said before, in my country opportunities are too difficult to get. It's not easy just to get a resume or a good CV because even though you have a big experience, you have all the experience you have, if you come from a university that doesn't have the resources or access and also have the contact, as we said, the well-known rename, um, unfortunately, you won't get a job, even though if you're a big, good professional, and that's why I always advocate to all the members or all the people say that opportunities might be there, but we also have to find. Even though it are more difficult, we have to find every opportunity and also to have the best of everything.
Well, I'm glad that you are working to, I mean, to speak well, yeah, to your chapter and help sort of be a friend and mentor to the members within your chapter and push them to keep going, even, when it is difficult to have that plan, have a backup plan, um, and keep seeking for opportunities.
Yeah, I've started my chapter as a mentor. As my time of president, I've always told all the members that we have to look forward. We don't have to be inside the box. We need to think outside the box. We need to find more opportunities, not only in our country but also abroad. And then we have to come back and also share all our knowledge in our country, because I think my country do really needs more good professionals. We have been staying with some corruption, with some bad government, with bad politics, with bad I don't know how to say, with bad influence. But we are the new generation that can change that. We are the generation that can make a good impact in our world, make a good impact in our country. And also, as I said before, we have the opportunity to change our country. Even though we don't have all the access, we don't have the tools, we don't have the things that we need, we can make it, we can change it, and we can also have this opportunity to show others that we are able also to compete with good professionals, not only in my country but also abroad.
Absolutely, and I absolutely love what you're saying, and yeah, definitely. Before I continue on with your culture, I did want to ask, since you mentioned about here where you are and abroad, I did want to ask, how was your experience going to PRSSA Icon 2024?
Well, I can say that I was so speechless. I was so speechless. I do have a really good feeling, because it was a completely good opportunity, not only for me but also for all the members, to learn more about good professionals, to also have more opportunities, to share opportunities with other ones, to meet champions for PRSSA, to have also the strength to enhance all their knowledge. And I had the opportunity to be a panelist, but also had the opportunity to meet other people, not only from the US, but also from other parts of South America. I met students that came from Brazil, came from Chile, came from Nicaragua, and other parts, not only South America, but Central America. And it was an amazing experience. All the members in my chapters were crazy about all the things that we told them, because could you imagine that even though we traveled in some opportunities, we didn't have shown to all the students in my university what we've been doing. Because imagine that many years ago we didn't have the technology, we didn't have the opportunities that we have now today. And also to have the opportunity to not only record all the events, but also to share with posts, with stories, with some content and that we create. It shares more and also have the opportunity to others to learn more about the event. So it was a completely amazing experience. I'm so grateful for Milagros Orgoyen, which is the president. I'm so grateful for her, because she helped us a lot. I have to say that she helped me so much, and she helped my chapter and also all the students from America, because we had a big trip. We have a challenge trip. It was very difficult for us because we didn't have the access. We didn't have the money. I remember that I was too afraid of traveling to to the icon because I didn't have the support of my university. I didn't have also enough funds. We did as much as possible as we could to also have the opportunity to be in the event. We did too many things. We sell raffles. We also work with some organizations. We save money. I went with my friend, which is Natsumi, and we both had a long journey, even though because we didn't have visa. And to get a visa in Peru is a long way. You have to wait until a year or maybe 2 years for your interview. And the the event was really close, and we only had the passport, so it was also a long trip to get a visa, a long trip to have the funds to travel abroad, and also to be there. So at the end of the day, it was so grateful. It was an amazing opportunity, also because we had the opportunity to be accomplish all our goals. I remember that I cried the day I came. Well, I went to the U.S. because I couldn't believe everything that was happening. And I remember that I saw my friend and I told her, I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm on a plane. It's the first time that I'm on a plane. I can't believe that it's the first time that I'm traveling to another country. And yeah, even though well, imagine that not only the experience there, but also the experience behind the event, the experience that we had in our journey to travel there. Even though we have everything against us, our university didn't want that we went to the event, didn't support us. And I have to say that even though it happens sometimes that that the universities don't have the access to the funds to support our students. And well, I say, well, we don't have to sit in our box and also try to wait for someone that gave us the opportunity. We have to find for every opportunity, and that's what we did. We did as much as possible to find all the sources. We also did a donor box with other students. We get money, and also it helped us a lot. It helped us so much to cover also our the things that we needed. I remember that we sent also a message, an email message to all the people who donate us, and we were so we were so glad because we had the opportunity to also make our dreams come true. And as we said, in if you can dream it, you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so enlightening. I mean, to hear about your story and how that against all odds, it seems that y'all were able to make this happen. And I think it really also goes back to that, I said, the dedication that I said that you have, and the determination to make it happen, and that even without the university support, you still found ways to make it happen. And even with the timeline of it, yeah, able to do it in such a condensed timeline.
Yeah, the timeline was very difficult. It took us about 6 months to get prepared for the trip. Even though we were too close to the event, we were also afraid of get the visa because, as I said before, getting a visa in Peru is completely difficult. Well, fortunately, we did well. We get the visa, we get the tickets, we for the event. We get also the plane tickets, and fortunately, everything went well as I could be. It well, it was completely a good experience, and I can say that the only obstacle that you can get is the one that you can put it in your mind. If you don't have any obstacles, you can go straight to your goal.
I love that. I love that, Lessa, that you mentioned that, and I think it's really, I mean, inspiring, like I said, to hear about that too, because I feel like there's so many obstacles within, our lives in general, and some things that simply do not want to work out, but sometimes we just have to put in that extra effort, extra determination, and even if you don't make it 100%, still getting as close as possible to your goals, no matter what.
Yeah, I think the most important is to get a goal and also to think about that. As I talk with one member in the icon, is the power of manifestation. If you manifestate everything, everything will happen. If you think positive, everything will do great. If you think about negative, if you have your mind with negative comments, with negative things, everything will go as wrong as you might think. Because the only obstacle is that you put it or set it in your mind.
Absolutely. And yeah, and since you were mentioning, like I said, the email that you sent out to, like I said, to the donors right before your trip. So I was actually rereading it the other day, and something that I love that you said was mentioning how, yeah, it's such a unique event that you have a chance to go through, and that it will leave such a lasting impact on your academic and personal journeys. Being able to have representation of your chapter on a international stage. And so, are you able to, to speak to us a little bit about, what it meant to you, just a little bit more as to, was it truly what it meant to you and the impact that it had on your journey?
About attending the event,
Oh, yes.
yeah, well, for me, it has a big impact, not only personal but also professional. I had the opportunity to get my mind with a different setup. I had the opportunity to also think about the opportunities that not only I have in my country but also abroad. Um, and I had the opportunity to meet people that were professionals, that were PR or were also in marketing, publicity, and they were sharing all their knowledge. Because you imagine that you have to pay a big amount of money to get all the knowledge, even though if you want to enhance your knowledge and also be a professional. But being there in that event, you have everything for free, and you have all the opportunity not only to talk with other students, but also to talk with professionals, to share the LinkedIn's, to also expand your opportunities. And that's what I told all the members in my chapter, that opportunities are lacking in this world, but we have to have the best in every opportunity. And that's what I always keep with me, because I'm regret of not being part of PRSSA many years ago. I was a senior student when I enrolled to PRSSA. I didn't have the access to attend many events before, even though I had the opportunity. It was due to my lack of funds to travel, maybe. And well, I've been learning English since I was a child, so for me the language barrier was not an issue, even though in my country there's a big problem with the language barrier because many students are afraid of speaking another language. For me it was more easier, but the only problem I have is that I didn't have as many funds, as many money, as we could say. I didn't have money. I didn't have enough money to cover all the expensive things, and it was a long road through my goal, because I always told my mom that one of my main goals had the opportunity to also uh, think, and also being part of many events abroad, attend to other events. And well, I have to say that one of the main motivations was I heard that the icon was going to be held in next to Disneyland. So for me, it was a big dream to meet Mickey. Since I was a child, one of my main dreams was to meet Mickey, to have the opportunity to talk with him. And and I have to say that, yeah, at the end of the day, I finally could accomplish my dream. Not only I had the opportunity to be part of that important event, but I also get a free ticket to visit Disneyland and California Adventures. So I am so glad for that opportunity too. I think that everything happened as well as it could be, and I had not only the opportunity to attend the icon, but I also had the opportunity to meet great people, to meet students that were so hardworking, that also share all their knowledge, that also had the opportunity to help you, even though if they can. And also meet all the e-board of PRSSA, meet some important representative of all chapters in every part of the US and every university. I had the opportunity to learn more about other experiences of life of every student, and most of them told me that they always regret not being part of PRSSA many years before they enrolled their career, and that's the main issue that I figure out that was happening to me. And yeah, as I said to all the students that also are part of my chapter in my university, if you have the opportunity, you can do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid, because many of my partners are afraid of traveling abroad, even though they could, because of this theme of the language barrier, the language that they are always afraid of speaking another language, not only in English but also another language.
Well, I really, like I said, I really admire, like I said, everything that that you have been saying, and I'm so glad that you were able to meet your dream as well. I mean, that is such a, such an impressive and impactful story in of itself.
Yeah, it was a completely dream come true. I had the opportunity to visit Disneyland. I've never been into a park which was so big and so amazing. And I also had the opportunity not only being Anaheim, but also in Hollywood. I had the opportunity to visit the Hollywood sign, the Half of Fame, I think, and many also places like Rodeo Drive and many things. So it was a completely different experience, and I have to say that we did our 10th anniversary many weeks before, and I had the opportunity to talk not only with members but also with previous members of PRSSA USMP, and they told me that they also traveled to many parts of the US for to attending the icon, and they told me that their experiences were completely different because every state is a completely different experience, and every year also too. And I could say that the 2024 experience will be always in my heart because everything was so I don't have words to say it. It was a bit difficult journey, and at the end of the day of the whole trip, we did as good as we could. Everything went so well. I can't imagine everything that happened in a bad way, because I have to say that we were so lucky. We were so lucky. I think we had so much luck, not only to travel, but also to share more experience, to meet so so many students that were so capable. They also they were so talented, and it helped us so much.
I love that. And yeah, I mean, like I said, throughout this, this whole story thus far, I've just loved that. I mean, that you've spoken so much about, like I said, these amazing opportunities that you've had, and what they have meant to, to you personally, uh, and yeah, I'm so glad that, like I said, the Icon 2024 meant a lot to you. That you had, that you had been able to uh, to work with fellow PRSSA members to help collect funds, even when the university didn't step in. That you were able to find others to step in their place. I mean, that that is an amazing story.
Yeah, as I said before, we didn't have the access to travel. Our university were against us, even though I talked with my director, he told me that they couldn't support us because the university didn't have the funds, and also there was a big problem with our dean. We have all everything against us, even though our chapter was into a risk of disappear because the university tried to implement so many other activities and other big things. But I I have to say that I was very brave and very strong to affront all the things that happened to my chapter. Uh, Not only the Ivor, but also many members have seen all the problems that we have faced through all this year. And even though everything could go wrong, I have to say that everything, thanks to God, went so well. And I have to share that the only thing that you need to do is to think positive, to fill your mind with all good comments, with all good memories, with all good experiences. And I have the opportunity to talk with past presidents of my chapter, and they always told me that message of keep going, of take care of our baby, because our chapter was like a baby, and we have to take care of it. We have to share more activities. We have to use our social media to grow, to keep growing, to also enroll more students. And at the end, we did as best as we could. I think the best way to share everything was with actions more than words. And if you have the opportunity to see our social media, you have the opportunity to see also how we've been growing through all this year, how we've been enhancing our chapter. Because I always keep this word of family. In our chapter, we are a family. Even though we're students from different grades, from different schedules, we are also a family. At the end, we need to stay together. We need to know each other. And even though we have so many problems, even though we have so many things that could make us argue in some time of the day, at the end, we have to always keep in mind that we're a family and we have to share it, that we can do as much and as good as we could.
I absolutely love, I mean, everything that you have been saying, all of the, yeah, the sentiment, all of the trials, I mean, all of it. And I did want to shift gears a little bit too. And so, yeah, throughout all of this, how has your personal journey, like, been, from the time that you started, yeah, university, mid-pandemic to where you are in the present day?
Well, I have to say that my experience was a completely different experience that any other university student could have. Maybe some people might be connect with my story, maybe others don't, but I was afraid of the world, even though I have to say that I was afraid of my future. I was afraid at the beginning of what would be when I finish my career. I filled my mind with bad negative things about my future. I remember when I was a junior student, I was in the first years of my career, and I was afraid of of my future. I always told my mom that I was not able to keep going into my career, and my mom told me, "No, you have to keep because we are paying for your your university, and it's expensive, and you need to have the strength to be able to finish it because you are the person that always put some good things in your mind. You have always put a goal in your mind, and you accomplish every goal um, that you have. And that's when I have this chip in my mind that said, "Yeah, I'm able to finish everything that I want. I'm able to keep going my and following my dreams." Could you imagine that the first year that I went in person to my university to my classes, I got sick. I was at least I was going to be into a I don't it's a hard experience because I got sick. I had a surgery. I got I don't know a house in English, but in Spanish is appendicitis. I have appendicitis aguda necrosada, which is I was at the age of death, even though uh, fortunately I recovered. I remember that I had a big uh, scarred and also went to classes even though I was sick and even though I was in hospital. I remember that one day I was preparing all the PPT with or the presentation with my friend to have an exposition in my class, and the following day I was at the hospital because my stomach hurt so much and I've had so many problems. I got surgery. I didn't wait so much time. After 2 days, I went to my classes because I needed to finish my courses. All the teachers helped me so much during that time. And after I recovery, I remember that I enrolled to PRSSA USMP. I also had those problems, and also the recuperation was more difficult because my surgery was very delicate, and I was even though I think God gave me the opportunity to be to be alive. And after that, I have to say that I had a time with depression and anxiety. I also still keep studying. I also keep doing all my homework, all my work, because I my only goal motivation was to finish my career. And fortunately, I went to psychologists, I went to therapy. I could understand more about my mental health. I could understand more about myself. I had the opportunity also to keep growing professional and personal. And as I said before, I met incredible people in my career. I have good friends that always support me so much, even though I told them that I couldn't attend to classes, so I couldn't be in in some classes because I had to go to the hospital. They helped me so much. They always integrate me in their groups, and as much as they could help me, they did it. And that's a good thing that you can have. And most of the students says that the group that you start at the beginning of your year is the group that you won't finish because you always argue or you always have problems with your group, and that's when you don't get friends. But I have to say that I met so many good friends, and we did a big team. We also did a TikTok channel which was called Kumpa, and also we also did another incredible group which was called Once, and all those people helped me so much to grow personal and professional. And also it helped me to finish my career because I knew that I want to finish my career with them, not with anyone else, not in other year, not in other semester with other student. No, I wanted to finish with them, and that's why I keep going even though I had an important surgery, and also even though I have everything against me. I remember that also they helped me so much with my courses. They helped me so much with the homework. Those days that I was at hospital, and I could finish at the end of that year my semester, and I enrolled to the following one, and now I graduate with them, and they are always good friends that I always keep on talking with them.
I love that. Yeah, well, one that you were able to, let's say, recover from your surgery, and that they were able to give you a little bit of grace, even though you continued to work through it, which itself is just shows how much endurance you have. But I mean that throughout your whole journey, that you've just been working through it, yeah, fighting the odds and making things happen, which I mean is just like tremendous that you were able to, I mean, endure that much and then just keep on going, telling yourself that you're able to do it.
Yeah, it was hard at the beginning because I have to say that my experience was a completely different experience that any other can have. But I think that life always can put you challenges, and the main thing that you could do is to have to have to be the best war, or no, the best god, and also to share more about all your experience to others that make them to also think about their own life and also try to make it better. So yeah, it's like a good way to be a mentor to teach others.
That's amazing. And have you been able to, I mean, to implement some of the stuff that you've learned throughout your life into like your leadership skills?
Yeah, also I have the opportunity to enhance more my leadership skills. I was a person who was very afraid at the beginning. I didn't want to take some important roles because I always had this bad negative thing that always put it into my mind that I wasn't able to do it. But after I changed my mind, I changed everything that I could. I started thinking positive. I said that I was able not only to lead a team but also to share my knowledge to others, share my knowledge and everything that I could share to other people, and also being a part of support for people who need it more.
I'm so glad, I mean, that you were able to, like I said, take your experiences and your triumphs and then use it to help encourage others, which I think is just always, like I said, I think just such an amazing quality. And like I said, just kudos to you for being able to do that and give back from the opportunities that you've been not just given, but the ones that you've fought for. and earned.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and I want to ask, yeah, well, mention too that since you mentioned that, yeah, the friends that you start with, yeah, even on life, maybe those aren't always the ones you finish out, but you were able to defy those odds too, and yeah, and finish out with your group. And I know just a few days ago, I believe that your PRSSA chapter just did a celebration together for graduation.
Yeah, days before my parents say did a celebration for all the senior students that graduate in 2024. We were like 11 members that graduate, and also most of the members were part of the e-board. So they not only were directors, but also were coordinators of my chapter and helped my chapter to keep growing a lot. And all the members that were in the e-board that were in a lower level, well, they were some of your, I think, some of your students, they get a big surprise for all of us. And they prepared everything. I remember I told them, "What are you gonna do? Do you need any funds? And they, do you need any help?" And they told me, "No, no, no, don't worry, don't worry. Just we need that amount of money, and after that you will be. We don't want you to get a surprise yet. We want to get surprise you." So yeah, I was waiting, and of course I helped as much as I could, help them in that time because they want to make everything to be a surprise. And also I have the opportunity to attend with all those members who were senior members. And everyone was shocked, not only for the big surprise but also for the video. They record a video of words that could tell to everyone, and it was some harmful thing. And I remember that I was crying that day because in the video they talk about all the experience that had with every part of the e-board, and every member of the e-board, also the all the directors, and also share the experience that have during their time in the chapter and how we help them to keep growing. And it was amazing because you can imagine that being part of a chapter makes you meet people from different grades, and also to have the opportunity to enhance your knowledge, to share more, to learn more soft skills. And when I heard that they told everything in that video, and they had so many beautiful words, I told to my mind that I did a great job. So the only thing that I could say is that the reflect of my journey of my job during that year is being there, because they well, I knew them since I was in sixth semester. But of course they had a very beautiful experiences. They relate everything that we did in the chapter, how we achieved every goal. And also hearing the words of my professional advisors was so emotive to me, because she is a person that is not used to talk too much. But when she talked in that video, she showed me uh, the real person that she is, the person that she always been advocate to help others. And she has helped my chapter a lot, because we have changed like three times of professional advisors during 2023. And in 2024 we have the last professional advisor, and she helped us as much as she could. And we fight against our university to keep our chapter still alive, to keep this baby project is still going. And I can say that we did it, and we are still a good chapter who always wants to share what we've been working on and what we've been doing.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that they were able to come together. Surprised you a little bit too, and I from the way that you're describing this, I mean, this sounds like such a perfect send off for your university journey.
Yeah, even though, as I said, we didn't have too many access to some things that was or resources that we needed. My journey was so great. I'm so thankful to my university too, even though, because if I couldn't be there, I wouldn't have known about PRSSA. And we've been achieving 10 years in a row of forming good professionals, on showing the world what we've been made for. There are some, well, but graduated students that are in a big important places in some big companies, and when they do their interview, when they see the resume of some of our members, and when they see that they put in the resume that they were part of PRSSA, or they are still being part of PRSSA, they were impressive because they said, "Oh well, I've been in PRSSA too, and I've been a member too, and I had the opportunity to share more experiences, and that's a way to break the ice and connect, and also to share that we are able, because being part of my chapter is being part of a selective group of people who really wants to be a good professional." Because we've done, because when I do the interviews, because I have to say that I do the interviews of every student that gets enrolled into my chapter, I always see their the way that they want to be part of, be involved in our chapter, even though they couldn't achieve the grades. That's something that you can manage, or something that you can improve it in the future. But if you have all the the feeling, all the the emotions to being part of my chapter, I said, if you're the person who really wants to work, who really wants to share everything, just do it and enroll it and be part of my chapter, because I know that you have a good potential, good future, and that's a way that you can show it.
I mean, that's just, I mean, was amazing to hear. And since you mentioned, of course, that you interview everyone that comes into the chapter, so how was that process for you in figuring out like who can be a member of the chapter for PRSSA?
Well, being part of my chapters is a long process because not only you have to apply, you have to be in a good score. I think in English is like A, you have to have an A, but well, in Peru the score is related to a number, so we have to be up to 15 points of your general no grade, and also have to be in the third semester to date. O sea, I mean, to from junior to senior students, they can be part of my chapter. But we also go into a part of interviews, because we have different teams, and every team have the opportunity to also share their knowledge. There are, for example, a team of events and fundraising. There is a team of, for example, social responsibility, public relations, and so many uh, groups that they can join. And well, in the interview, we want to share, and we want to know more about the member. It's the only opportunity that you have to meet the member that will be part of each chapter, and that you know that will be part of the following years. So it has to be a long interview, because I want to make sure that every member in my chapter get together well, because we not only evaluate their soft skills but also their hard ones. So we try to mix everything in the interview. We know about their experience, we know about themselves, we also know about how they can be part of the group, and how they can work together with other members. We put them some cases where, or some situations, we put them into a situation where he can feel nervous, or maybe he can argue with another member of the team, and what he can do to solve that problem. And after that, I love that that part, because we have an interview. We have an interview in English. I ask them questions, because even though they try, or maybe they don't try, they need to be able to also learn another language. We ask them, maybe, for example, what languages do they speak. For example, I remember that one time there was a member who spoke, who used to spoke Italian. and also French, and we were shocked because that helped us a lot to our chapter because we the only languages that most of the students know is English, but they also knew another languages like Korean, Mandarin, and also Italian, French, and yeah, it's something that can make the our chapter keep growing. And also I evaluate them in their hard skills. We have some activity, for example, all the members that want to be in the team of digital content creations. We ask them to to record TikToks or maybe to create a graphic design. So yeah, of course, it helps them also to be part of this evaluation and also to know how is an evaluation in Peru because we try to make as very similar or as in real life of an interview that can be part of their experiences in at some part of their lives.
Wow, that's definitely, I mean, very impressive. And I like that part of the reason that you do this is to make sure that all your chapter members can, get along, work together, and then grow in their skills, which I think is amazing. But now that you have officially graduated, has it set in that you are a graduate, and have you set any like new goals now that you have officially graduated?
Yeah, I have so many goals. The first goal that I have into my mind is to travel abroad, maybe Europe, and also start PhD, a mastery. As I think I would like to study also another career too, to complement all the knowledge that I have. But well, the my shorter goal is to find another job. I've been working in the Central Bank of Peru for almost a year. I had a very beautiful experience there, but I really want to learn more about other jobs that can help me to enhance my career. And I'm also a PR graduate, student, so I'm looking for new opportunities. I'm able to be part of every opportunity that well can be offered, but I also want to enhance my knowledge, and I put more goals too, because one of my main goals was to be in a good shape. So I've been starting to doing exercise. I enroll into a gym. I've been also doing some activities like walking, running, start implementing more activities also to eating more healthy because I remember that in the time of my career I didn't have a good uh, lifestyle. I remember that I didn't eat as well as I would love to, but I think that now I have more spare time to share more, to do more activities, and also to have the opportunity to also improve other ones or other skills that I didn't have or I needed to improve it more.
That's amazing that you're working on both, yeah, self improvement and starting your career, continuing your education. I mean, so even though that you may have just graduated from your university, I mean, this is just the beginning for you.
Yeah, I think it's the beginning, and I think that I could do it better. I would love to also share more about my knowledge, my experience to others, to help other people that really need it. I've been doing volunteering too. I've been working in some projects. I've been working in in some things, and also I had some entrepreneurs. I've been like an entrepreneur. I had a little bit business, but I'm trying to get the project and be ready to make it and show it to others. So yeah.
I love that. I love that you are just ready to go for the next part of the journey. Although hopefully taking time for yourself as well.
Yeah, well, it's very important to take time of of some of oneself, because most of people think that they can just be workaholic all the time, that they need to work, 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 and also have make money. But you need to take time to think about yourself. You need to take time to make it a better self, because if you don't feel great, you won't feel anyone else make it feel great too. So the way you look, the way you show to others is the way you feel. And if you, and as I said, you have to speak with your mind with your mouth, and also with your heart. But if you don't have the three things in common, I think it will be a little bit difficult for others to understand you. And that's the main reason that you have to always keep working, keep also doing some activities that will help you to not only develop the hard skills but also the soft skills and also your true self. So yeah, that's it, and that's why I started to do many activities that help me so much to keep growing, to be in a good lifestyle, to also have my mind occupied, a little bit busy, and also not to think about negative things but also in positive ones.
I love that. I love that. I mean, that you're working towards all of these amazing goals that you're working towards. Yeah, on yourself, and I mean, truly amazing. And yeah, and before, like I said, we begin closing out, I did want to ask you: were there any questions that you had for me, or anything else that you wanted to share? Anything else that we haven't had a chance to cover while we're still speaking?
Well, I have to say that everything went as well, and I love this opportunity to share more about myself, to that other people have the opportunity to meet me, even though it's virtual, I know, but also to share more about my country and about Peru. What I would like to share is that most of people need to know more about everything that we have, everything that we can share it to the world. We've been known for many years as the land of the Incas and also as Machu Picchu, but in Peru there are too many beautiful things that need to be shown and also that need to be shared. There are some people that are very kind, very polite. They will help you as much as you could. In Peru, there are too many good artisanals that make beautiful designs. We have so many trips like Shipibos. We have our jungle, big extension of our jungle. We have the Amazonia, part of the Amazonia, and also we want to share more about my country. Have the opportunity to promote my country, to show it to the world. I will definitely do it, and that's what I want too many people know about Peru, about my country, and also even though we are a little bit country, well, a little country, we want to share it and also show that we can make good professionals, professionals that are not corrupted, professionals that can make a better future for my country and also for the world too.
I love that, and I'm so glad that you were able to share that, and yeah, and taking this on the personal side. So, Harriet, what does this mean for you to be able to share your story here on the podcast?
It means so much, and I think sharing my experience in a podcast is a big opportunity to share other life experience to many people who are watching us right now, and also to have the opportunity to share more about what I've been doing, how I keep being growing. I wish I had the opportunity to be more fluent in English and also to share more and have the opportunity to construct more words and sentences. I think I have the opportunity to keep enhancing all those details, but also I'm grateful to have this big platform to show more about myself, to inspire others, because I think that's the main reason that I'm talking to you right now, because I really want to inspire other students. I really want to inspire other people and make them to know that the only limit or the only obstacle you have is the one that you can put it in your mind, that you can achieve everything that you want to, that you can dream it, that you can do it. I want to enhance, I want to share it to others that you can achieve everything, everything that you can put it in your mind. And even though there might be obstacles, there might be some people that have bad negative commentaries about everything that you do. If you want to accomplish something, if you really want to do something, just do it, and don't regret later, because there are too many people that always regret when they don't do an activity that maybe they would have loved to do it before. And that's the main reason that I always said, well, I won't I won't be the part of all those people that always do the same routine or always do the same. I want to change the role. I want to change the system. I want to share and also to live different experiences of, even though there are good different experiences, but also to put don't let anyone else mm, get me down. So I want to share it. I want to inspire others. I want to tell them that they can achieve everything they want.
I love that, and and I'm so glad, like I said, that we have a chance to connect. That you're able to share a bit of your story, and I definitely know we will stay, like I said, in touch because I'm just so excited to hear what you're going to do in the future and continue hearing about what you're doing now. Because I mean, it's just extraordinary to hear everything and how you've gotten to where you are now.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to share it that I've been uh, I've been part of people that always have those good positive feelings that share it to others. I know I'm a very sensitive person who always feels the vibes of of other people's, and I know I have the opportunity to help others. If I have the opportunity to help a person, I can uh, help them. I can support them. I have the opportunity to show to lead them to a good way, and that's what I want to share. That I want to share that there are no obstacles, there are no limits. The only one that you can the only one person that can turn you down is you. So I mean that you are the only one that can achieve everything that you want.
That is so true. And I did want to allow a moment to, if anyone online would like to reach out to you, yeah, hear more about your story, about your PRSSA chapter, or whatever the case may be. Where's the best places for them to find you, Harry?
Well, I want them to know that they need to be brave, they need to be very strong, and even though being part of this podcast is an opportunity to share and also to let more people know about everything that you can share it to the world. I think that we're here for a purpose. Our purpose is to make a good way for others, to always help others, and that's an important way to help. For example, I've been on the brink of death several times, but I have to say that I'm a warrior. I'm here talking in front of you. I'm a survivor too, and I've been part of this resilience, this stamina that helped me to share with others this opportunity that and say, well, you have a purpose, you have a goal, your duty is to help others, and that's what I want to share it.
That's amazing. And if someone would like to reach out to you, like online for like a LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever the case may be, is there anywhere that they can find you?
Of course, I have LinkedIn, and my LinkedIn is my same name, Harry Alarcón Sánchez. You can find me. Also, I have Instagram, but well, my Instagram is public to everyone because I would love to share my whole experience. But I also have a TikTok account. Well, I in that TikTok I share more about my passion, mythology. I love to talk about beauty pageants and also music. So if they want to, they can just follow me.
That's amazing. Have you been into to that for a long time?
Yeah, well, I've been starting to create content into my social media. I have to say that I was afraid at the beginning. I didn't know how to do it, but after all those years, I have the opportunity to keep enhancing my knowledge and also to keep make it better to share more about my lifestyle. And even though if they want to reach me, they want to talk with me, I'm open to ask to answer all those questions. I'm the person who always answer messages and also respond everything, even though is if on LinkedIn or also on Instagram. I would love to share more experiences.
I love that. And last but certainly not least in this episode, I did want to allow for a moment for you to go ahead and give us the grand finale of episode 99 to end us out with a thought, inspirational message, or whatever the case may be. There's been a lot of it in this episode, but I want to allow for you to close this out.
Yeah, I have to say thank you for this opportunity. I'm so glad to be on this episode. It's the 99 episode. We are very close to 100 episode, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so thankful for this opportunity too. And you have to say that you're doing very great. It was a great interview, and even though I'm a little bit nervous because it's the first time that I'm doing an interview in English, I have to say that this experience is also a very good experience to show others that you have no limits. Even though you speak another language, you can do it. Just do it.
I love that. Thank you so much for everything. We're going to definitely stay in touch, and I'm so thrilled to hear what you're going to do in the future.
Thank you so much.
For those tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode, episode 99. This was such an honor being able to do this episode, and we have one more until episode 100. But as always, continue tuning in as we continue on our mission to bring people together and share the stories of others. We'll see you later. Take care.
See you.